Alright, time for the next update. I'm about tired of working, so I figured I'd call it a day. So, it's kinda, I guess you could call it a first mock-up. I haven't trimmed anything or done anything to the new quarters, just kinda placed up here and just kinda held in with one clamp down there. So, looks like I'm gonna have to do probably some trimming down here, because this up here is sitting high. I'll have to bring it down. I'll probably have to trim back here. I don't know if you can see it, but it hits a little bit right here. I'll have to just kind of grind that out a little bit, cut into it, trim it a bit. Once that happens, this will come down. Right now this fits. Once it comes down, I'll probably have to take a little bit off to get it to fit back in here. I've got to take that notch out up here. My guess is my fit on my wheel well is going to be a lot like how Joe Daddy's was on his. Looks like I'm going to be doing pretty much the same things he had to do on his all the way around, because the sides seem to made up good. They're tight. This one's not, because the back end's hanging off because that sail panel or whatever that slips up underneath, I hadn't trimmed it so it doesn't fit up against it, so it's bowed out. But up top, it's a big gap, and the panel still has to come down more. So I'm going to end up with a nice big gap there probably. I'm going to have to do a similar job that he did, because I'm also agreeing with what he said. I'm not the type that's going to call that a day, bend it down, weld it, and fill it full of gunk. I'm going to do it right, so it's actually strong. This I'm going to have to flex back down. I guess it got bent in shipping. It's bent way up, curved, but over here this seems like it'll fit up alright. And the back, I've got a lot of cleanup work to do before I get ready to do it. Got rust that was in between panels and all the way down here. There was one thing I had a question on. Hopefully somebody can answer this. This piece right here, which side of this panel was it on? The back side or the face of it? Looks like it could go for either. I know this goes over the face, so I'm assuming this would go over the face since this piece is welded on the outside of this piece. It's just my thoughts. I believe it goes on the outside, but I'm not positive. So if somebody knows that answer, feel free to comment. See if I can lay this down and get this motor off real quick. After I break everything. Alright, sorry for the racket. Alright, so I had one more question. Now, I have this trimmed similar, I believe, to how Joe Daddy did his. I keep referencing him because he's done this exact same thing on, I think, a 65. Been watching a bunch of his videos on this process. I want to say he welded on this lip here about how I cut, similar, maybe a little bit lower, I'm not sure. I went ahead and chopped this back section out because it was pretty rusted up. What my question is, originally I thought there was a second tack. I thought this piece was welded onto the quarter on the back side going along lower sections because it seemed like it was real stiff. Upon cutting this, it doesn't look like it is. So my curious question is, would it be better to go ahead and trim this back up to this dip and put my welds right alongside where they did the seam? Granted, there's going to be a good bit of lead in there, so I'll have to clean out a little bit better, and I'm hoping it won't contaminate a whole bunch. Hopefully I'd be able to weld it, but that's my only concern, I guess, would be the lead that's in there. But it seemed like it'd be easier to clean up since I have to, all metal over that anyways, to put my weld right along that existing seam and all those existing welds, because these are pretty rough anyways. I really don't think that's factory, but if it is, and they did kind of a shit job on this, that looks like it's factory. But that looks like somebody did an after the fact touch up. So that's where I'm at. I got the tub put back in. I think this is going to be good. I'm not going to weld it in until I get the quarter fitted right. Make sure I don't have to adjust it any. Fireman mentioned something about this OSPO treatment for before priming the black and white that's on this. I'm assuming you have to just reapply the OSPO and then rinse it good with water, and it'll neutralize all this powdered junk, because I'm guessing this is like a phosphate type finish. But I'm going to end up priming everything inside of here before I throw the quarter on. That way it's all coated well. And I guess I'm going to hit a wire wheel to this junk. It's like almost seems like a sprayish, like a rubberized insulation or something like that was on there. It's not rust or anything. But I ended up not stabilizing into this just because, to be honest, I didn't really feel like it. It seemed like too much work. This doesn't budge. I went ahead and took measurements of everything, which I don't even know if you can read them, but I wrote down measurements everywhere. That's measurements off the floor to the tail, and then I measured across and then across. I figured between the measurements and the trunk lid, I can get it back to damn well close to perfect. I don't think I need to brace everything on this stuff. It's just a little sheet metal, not like bracing the frame stuff that I needed to do, because that stuff was starting to get a lot of stuff out of whack. But if anybody knows the answers to a couple of questions I had, please comment, and thanks for watching, guys. Oh, before I end, sorry. I pulled that door off and I got ready to mount it. I went ahead and decided to blast these. Came out pretty good. Need to do a little bit of touch up on them. Took apart my hinges. I got to get new bushings for them, but the pins are still good, it looks like. And then I just kind of OSPO treated the bolts and then coated them with oil. I'll tell you that I think I'm saying OSPO. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, that stuff. OSPO in a jar with some bolts. Holy crud, make them brand new. I don't have a tumbler, and I don't have a little blast bucket to do small parts, which I need to get. Just a little screen cage to put everything in, but yeah, that stuff ate every bit of rust off of there. Oh, and there's my lead collection from where I removed everything. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys.